For coming and joining us today for 29th of Meetup within PyData Slovakia. Today's host is Svizre, and now I will give first the word to Lukáš Čoka, who thanks to him we are here. So.
Hi, thanks Radovan. I will be very fast because we haven't come to to speak and hear about Swiss Re. Please use all the food that is there. We have also more water. If you need something else, let us come to me. The toilets are in the middle, and enjoy the session. And I'm very happy that so many people come to Swiss Re. You see also our spaces. We have also a huge data science team. I think the biggest in Slovakia, 30 people. And we are obviously always hiring. But this is not hiring event. This is community event. So I go away. Thanks.
Thanks, Lukáš. So. As I mentioned, this is, as for the number, this is 29th of Meetup, and as usually, one of the supporters is also Slido. So please use this code. It will be on each slide that I will present to you. PyData SK. Prepare also questions, because one of the top questions will get books from O'Reilly, which is also one of the sponsors of the event, and we have also special T-shirt from Nextech, one of the also supporters of today's event. And also, if you want stickers for your notebook, PyData stickers, it's there, so feel free to take. So PyData SK at Slido, there will be also some interaction. We have the corporate version from Slido, and they support us for a long time. And yeah, you can use also the QR code if you prefer it that way. So let's start. So this is basically the structure of my talk today. First, I will not talk about myself. I will more talk about NumFocus and PyData in general, because as I checked the registration, most of you are coming for the first time, and some even connecting online via Zoom from all around the world. So first about NumFocus, short intro, then about 5 minutes current development, what is as for LLMs, as for the new things regarding large language models, current situation also as for multi-model models like Sora and so on and so on. Then I will dedicate the core of the talk will be about agentic AI, or the next step in evolution of a large language model, which is basically independent AI agents, and also the vision may be how these different protocols connect and how they operate on the background. So then I will talk also about privacy, the issues with LLMs, and issues also with this agentic attitude towards LLM, and also explainability within large language models is also one of the subtopics that I picked for you. There are tools for that, and I will go into detail later then. Then we will have also a Q&A session, and as I mentioned, the best questions will get reward. So prepare your questions during the event, and you can already put it there at Slido. And that's it. So first of all, about NumFocus. Most of you probably or maybe some heard about NumFocus, but I expect that not the majority know about NumFocus. Basically, PyData as a brand is their educational program. NumFocus is a non-profit based in the US, and they have part that is dedicated into basically introduction of inner workings of their tools like NumPy, Pandas, basically all the data stack within Python is their creation, and they help to bring it to the world. They financed basically via programs the creation of these tools, and also they support very strongly the scientific research and basically openness within science. As you see on the picture here on the left, it's one of the most famous by Dr. Catherine Bowman, when the biggest breakthrough was done within, first we got, as a society, we got first photo of a black hole. And what was used for creation of this photo was basically all the PyData stack that was financed by NumFocus. So NumPy, SciPy, Pandas by Wes McKinney, AstroPy, Jupyter Notebooks as interactivity tool for basically operating or basically scripts, using scripts within like kernel in your browser. Then Matplotlib for visualization layer on top of data frames within Pandas. So this is basically the core focus is to using open source tools, finance them, finance developers who create them, and PyData is the brand how to propagate these tools and how to basically put these tools into the hands of clever people within academia, within business, and push the society or the progress in general, like all around the world. So PyData, as you participate on this meetup, you become part of this movement and part of this educational program. How it is connected to LLMs or ChatGPT, which is today's topics. Basically, all these tools were used when the first ChatGPT came to the world, and for creation, basically the corpus on which was ChatGPT trained by OpenAI, it was all the same tools were used. So basically connecting various databases, cleaning the data, creating the whole corpuses, then deep learning on top of this, SciPy, PyMC3 and all the stuff. And behind Python, there is always within these data science tools or data tools within Python, there is also C or something called Cython, which is, as you know, Python is interpreted language. So this is basically within C, the interpretation of Python to language C. So these are the main people within PyData. Basically the name NumFocus is from NumPy and focus on NumPy. NumPy was creation of this guy on the top left, Travis Oliphant, and basically his idea behind it was to create alternative to MATLAB, because the licenses, maybe some of you started in MATLAB, at least I did so at academia, and his idea was to create something that is open source, that is free for everybody, and he didn't want to be limited by these very expensive licenses. So a NumFocus created platform how to finance his ideas and how to bring it to the world. There is also famous paper that he published about NumPy, and after about 15 years he got recognized for this. Sometimes it takes time in academia. It started as free, basically separate libraries, and then they together put as a NumPy. Then John Hunter, this guy, he created Matplotlib. Also the name evokes MATLAB. Wes McKinney is creator of Pandas, and Pandas was used mostly for cleaning the data as preparation for ChatGPT. Okay, Then we have these kind of data visualization tools, and I will now have to share the right link, so also you can see. I created basically introduction to LLMs, so you can also see the visualizations. Okay, I will skip that because currently there is too much windows that I have opened, but I will return to that later on. Basically, this is this photo, this screenshot. I have also in interactive form, and later I will show you when I close some of the windows. Basically, you can check each part of the large language model, or in this case ChatGPT at first iteration, and also till ChatGPT or GPT-3. There are also other tools how you can basically visualize, how you can really deep dive into LLMs, and how you can check the hierarchy of the structure of how it is created. It's all probably it's based on transformers, which is also the concept that I will explain later. So far you have to just know that we will return to this, and there are other tools that you can check each layer of the model in case that you will get your hands on the model. So there are tools how to basically check in each phase or each iteration how the large language model is created, how the weights between the artificial layer of neurons, how the information is processed, and you can really deep dive. This is question, and this is one of the interactivity that I use nearly at each session or each talk that I have, and you can vote. Basically, is data from your point of view reality, or is it something synthetic, or just I'm interested into your opinion. Each time on each event it's completely different result. We have about 20. Okay, so you selected basically majority of 50-50. Okay. Okay. So let's go. One at least that will decide. Okay. So I will put this into the context. So let's pick the winner and then I will move on. 50-50. Okay. So let's move on, let's save time. So 50-50, and I will explain why I think that no, data is not reality. And I explain why. Basically, at least I come from social science, and social scientists clearly know that the data they are working with are really bad as for the exactness of the methodology, bad as for sometimes even storage, sometimes there are faults in even the source of the data, but it can be used in general also in exact part of the science, like physics and so on and so on. Basically in every area of science we have problems with data, and we cannot truly focus or take the data that we are working with, and LLMs are full of data. Basically LLMs or ChatGPT was created that it was scraped the whole web, and there are lots of unreliable data, many bad data in bad shape, and we put this creation, ChatGPT, into products, but we still have to be aware that this kind of like creation was based on very flawed data, sometimes even data that was acquired not so like legally. Some even like philosophers or experts call it the biggest, basically the most stolen part is for example, books or the dark web, or basically the whole corpus that it was trained on was not all the source of the legal sources. We have to just be aware that these data that we are working with and we are creating, the data that we are working with are not so exact, and we have to be aware that basically what we use for creation of these advanced models have their limits, and also the usage of these tools have to be aware. This video basically shows us what is currently, what started as ChatGPT, how it evolved, and how we can now use even not just transformers for language, but we can move it into like audio, video, the multimodality of these models, and we can even use it for editing videos and creation of the whole like alternative version of the video source that was like put into. This was video that is a propagation of a startup called Flawless AI, and what they are doing now is basically like alternative version of the films in Hollywood. So we can generate now stuff using these models, and also different kind of transformers called visual transformers, and combine these technologies like text, audio, video into something that we can basically take just mask or one video, take original like film, and create another language version of the same film, or even create another content that is basically focused on your preferences. So we can even go to like, if you don't like the ending of the film, there will soon come new technologies that will create some alternative version of the same film dedicated to you and based on your preferences. That maybe we collect it on the web, for example, via cookies. What is basically ChatGPT? ChatGPT is in like general overview, it's a generator of tokens. Tokens in, tokens out. And what we need for generating like these tokens and for generating the responses is basically a lot of GPUs, a lot of like raw power for generating this content. The video is even more expensive, and this guy, you know probably him from OpenAI, he was last year, he was in Dubai asking the the ministers and the people in United Arab Emirates to this kind of investment, just like 100 trillion USD. Just for comparison, this is basically the whole world. US is like GDP of US is 25, so it's 4 times the GDP of US, and like Germany, it's 50 times more. And when he was asked like why do you need so much money, so just to buy some graphics and create something called like AGI. AGI is the holy grail of like artificial intelligence. So basically what he is reaching for is general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and human level intelligence. And this way you have to also see the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just semi-product. The goal is to reach technology that is far beyond the scope that we now like operate, and whoever like gets this technology, AGI, will be the winner of the AI race. There is, so far it's just theoretical, nobody reaches that, or at least what is public. We don't know what is happening in private laboratories all around the world. But so far nobody has this kind of infrastructure, not this kind of investment so far, and nobody have reached AGI yet. But it's going there, and if it will be like done like ChatGPT was done, by basically avoiding legal norms, then we will see things happening that has never happened so far. I will skip this. This is just another videos for, as an example, what we are capable now using these visual transformers and large language transformers. This is the transformer itself. This is from paper that when it was introduced, it was back in 2017. And as a concept, it's basically, as you see it, this is ChatGPT. This is the whole thing. If you understand it, what is happening there, you will know that it's really nothing sophisticated. It's just layers and layers on top of another layers with some interactivity all around based on different structure or design of neural networks. There is different like forward or feed-forward like construction, how basically the wages are generated. And then we have like output embedding. Embedding is here, like these are inputs, then encoding of the inputs. So basically this was the like corpus created by the like NumPy, pandas, and so on and so on. This get in, then embed, then layers and layers of the neural net, then basically the attention principle, the paper where it was published, it's called "Attention is All You Need." So if you Google that, you will get the whole paper based on this concept of transformers are the whole like large language model based on. And at the end, we are basically doing predictions at the end. So that's why the softmax layer is for. It basically sets the output of the models, sets probability, and based on that probability, like the top probability is put to you as like the next word, the next sentence that is predicted. You see it as very quick because it's generated like from static models, so, like that sits somewhere on the server or on like cloud, and only the wages are the generator of the response. So what they learned is static, sitting somewhere. You will not get access to that. You can only interact with these large language models, and the interaction, you are putting tokens in and tokens out. So that's the same. That's how many of you pay for ChatGPT, the subscription model? So a lot of you, like the 20 USD. So you are paying not for the large language model itself. You are paying for the interactivity, for putting tokens in, and you are getting tokens out, but you don't have the core. But there are tools, and I will go far into that. There are tools, open source tools, that you can create your own large language model. If you understand how this works, you can imitate, and using open source tools to create your own like learn from you, learn from your creations, learn from your documents, learn from your code, learn from your audio, video, and so on and so on. And you can operate it locally. Okay, you need hardware for that, but you can like basically do your own. You don't have to like pay for all and create something new. And about creating something new, I will also talk here. First, problem that happened when ChatGPT was put into world was basically that the problem of the statics of the model. It's sitting, it was learned from data that was available to exact date. For example, when ChatGPT was put out, it was few months before the corpus was created. So it didn't have the current data, or there was not possibility to basically add search engines or current data into model. So there was created an alternative how to basically import this functionality, search, into large language model. But technically, as you see, this design is static. Once it is learned, it's static. But how to like avoid that was created something called the RAG. Some call it that it's at least partly agentic, but in fact it's very like I don't know how many of you know something called like injection within database. So something that you will like put into between host and server, and you will insert something between that. So your interaction with ChatGPT, there will come another tool between you and the interaction of the model. And this functionality, it can be like a vector database, or in this case, RAG, concept of RAG is based on this like vector database. This vector database can like embed your inputs, your tokens, your request from the large language model, then we'll add another functionality. It can be query for search engine, it can be different kind of like prompt or query or different request, and then it will like put it all together and then create something called like augmented request to large language model, and then it will ask instead of you, and what they will deliver to you is basically enhanced like reply from the large language model. So this was the first attempt to basically add the functionality of search, basically storing some data about you as a user, and so on and so on. More personalization within like request. Not many people know this. You as a user will not even like check how it works. It just works. And everybody is talking in media about, oh, now ChatGPT has this kind of like functionality, search and current things. And, oh, no, it's this. It's still the same design with some addition, and this addition also has a lot of like issue as for your data that you are sharing with the models can be stored, can be injected as the data travels, and this has a limitation. And that's the reason why MCP was created as another protocol. I will go further in that later. And in a standardized way, basically create protocol that that can solve the problem of security, and that can solve the problem also interactivity with another tools. RAG is based on vector database, and it creates context based on data that you share with it. MCP is another level of the basically same tools, but it just gives the large language model connection to some tools. In some of you who are developers, you know the concept of API, basically interaction with the application that you create. and it basically gives this API, connects API with the model within like standardized way. That's the core concept of MCP, and it gives tools to the large language model. And what kind of tools? These tools, it can be basically everything, and that's why I also argue that it has completely like limitless potential. It is a hot new thing, very currently MCP. If you Google like the new things within LLM, MCP is like on top of it. Everybody is like, it was published, by the way, it was published in November like last year by Anthropic, which are, this is company basically those who left OpenAI for some reasons, some ethical, some different, but they create this kind of protocol, and each company, the biggest players like Microsoft, Google, and so on, they all accepted this. Their creation is really like, is solving the problem that basically RAG left unsolved. So you will hear also in future more and more about this protocol, and to like fully understand is basically the way how to understand it is understand how API works and what is already like numerous like APIs that you can connect, and you can even connect it between the agents. So really limitless potential. And one of the companies that basically built their whole concept on this MCP or APIs is Zapier. How many of you know Zapier? Perfect. So you probably know the way how to avoid the 20 euro or 20 USD subscription model. You can basically use Zapier and interact with the most advanced model and interact it within like Google Sheets, for example. You just have to access it, basically connect it to your spreadsheet and interact with it for free. So those of you who pay and didn't know about this kind of like tools, try also alternatives. So it connects, it interacts with every communication tools like for example Discord or Teams or Zoom that we are using. We are even using now Zoom on top of like Teams and so on and so on. And basically every or Slack if you are using for teamwork, each one of these apps have like API, and it can be connected as an MCP via the MCP protocol into your other tools, and they can basically send information about your request between them. So, and this, you are not limited as for number of these APIs that you can connect via the MCP protocol. So really, just your imagination is the limit of what you can automate. There are other companies that are basically doing the same stuff or very similar stuff, and also doing implementation of these tools for companies. The top companies within this are the H2O AI. They implemented also in areas of something called like high security or high risk areas, which is also, for example, insurance, like Swiss Re is doing. So really, these technologies have to be solved also from like privacy part. So feel free to try Zapier and join the quiz. I will now take some time for take a breath and some water. I prepare some quiz for you. Just enter your enter your name, and we can move on. So this is the question, who is this guy? How many of you can answer? Also, winner will get the t-shirt. Also, time is recording, so whoever will be also the quickest. Okay, we have 30. 30 inputs. So let's stop it now. Alan Turing, no. John Tukey, those who answered John Tukey, and I will tell you now who John Tukey was. John Tukey was basically the founder of the whole, this kind of like data science, AI, all the industry, and one of the most clever guy who basically create the data science itself. And we have, okay, Lukáš Čoka is the winner. Okay, so we have the winner in the first round. So, what John Tukey did, he was a member of the something called Bell Labs. Do you know Bell Labs from history? So Bell Labs was the place where all the best brains within all the science, not just like computer science. Alan Turing, most of you answered Alan Turing. Alan Turing is a creator of basically computer science, or the first concept of like Turing machines. But John Tukey was founder of the data science, but also more general. At that time in Bell Labs, which was one place where various like chemists, best physicists, best scientists from other areas were concentrated, and John Tukey was the main one who was working with data. So he is the founder of the first like tools for analyzing data, for first how to visualize data, how the concept, how to interpret data. So the whole stuff that we are now using and call it AI or call it automation and call it data analysis or data science or statistics or knowledge database discovery and so on, it all began with him. And this is basically what also large language models are doing. We are taking the raw data, the signals from text, from like a real world, and we try to extract via the layers and layers of the artificial neural networks. We are extracting information and try to structure it. Then generating knowledge. We are synthesizing this knowledge into, in this case, large language models. It's basically the ChatGPT is concentrating the whole like knowledge of all the nations of the whole planet. And there are a lot of layers that are hidden from the user. There are ways how to, via the specific prompts, how to unlock this knowledge, but not many users know this. But this is how also the large language model works. It's when you put data that are cleared and in a way for usable for machines to extract the other knowledge, information, knowledge, hopefully wisdom, understanding of things. Many users think that we already reached the possibility for this decision-making action. This is the basically the in automation form or in current situation. This is the AI agents that they are making decision instead of you within the area that you will set for them. So and at the end is the like change or the improvement of your work, of your coding skills, or whatever you set these AI agents to do. And this is the concept of the data science itself. This is basically model creation. And now we are even, this work, the area of data science, this all can be automated now. After ChatGPT, after this like MCP, after this creation of AI agents, many very highly sophisticated workflows, like for example data science. My original profession was macroeconomist. Basically the work of macroeconomist is take data, interpret them, create graphs, and write some text how to interpret graphs. All of it can be automated now using these like AI agents. You will set just one AI agent that will do graphs, one AI agent that will generate text for the report, one AI agent that will clean the data, that will create so each profession is in question now. You have to be more effective in your work, more effective in your profession, because all of this is now past. Now, what is happening currently? I already mentioned MCP. As I mentioned, MCP is basically connecting the static large language model with APIs from whatever. What is now happening, or this is a new thing, a protocol called agent to agent. It was created by Google in April, or published, it was created way before, but published was in April 2025, so about a month ago. These companies basically contributed into development. As you see, Accenture, all the big four, McKinsey is there, I think, yeah, McKinsey, and BCG, the main like consulting companies, the main players within like IT, Elastic, and so on and so on. Basically, everybody like agree that this is the way forward in interaction with the static large language models, and this is the way how these agents that are created for purpose, for alternative, basically like employees, like virtual employees that will do work instead of you, sometimes better. They don't need drink, they don't need sleep, they just work in case that the hardware behind it is working. And this is the way how they operate, how they interact, and how they will coordinate the tasks for solving the problems that you might have. So, for example, this, like your local files, your search queries will go to the MCP server, then they are stored in database, then interaction with large language model. Currently, as for benchmarks, the best LLM out there is Gemini 2.5 Pro, but some companies, each time that a new version of another LLM comes, they put some benchmarks out that now we are better now, and so on and so on. In general, currently really also from user experience, Gemini 2.5 Pro, that is still free, at least for academics, but also for general public to some limitation. This is the best that is out there. And another agent you can create using for example, you have data on cloud or communication via WhatsApp or Slack and so on and so on. Put it into database. You can even use some open source large language model. We have also those. And for example, DeepSeek is one of them. They have bad reputation as for the issues with China and so on and so on, but they are the most open within, when you check Hugging Face or other on GitHub. So it's freely available, and there are a lot of clever people really behind it, and it is the standardized way if you want to have like open source alternative to ChatGPT. Currently the best option out there is using DeepSeek and create some modification, download the wages locally and play with it and try to like improve it. And how to, another very useful like things, how to basically create chunks of data, create chunks of your inputs into like large language model to create the context is LangGraph or the LangChain. So it's an open source tool that you can like use for the addition to like large language model. You can build on top of the static large language model basically. And this kind of agent, each one created in different way, can interact, and the data, not all like data is shared between them. They share just instruction how to solve the task that you are like putting them to work. So really like great design or great protocol how to add context into the model and how to interact between agents. That's also why it in industry it won this kind of concept, and everybody agreed that this is the way forward. But as I mentioned, the whole like development of this large language model, this is not the main goal. This is not even the agents to like put you out of work. This is not the goal. The goal is creation of something called artificial general intelligence, and this is the technology that can basically push the whole society into another level. It can open the new doors that we don't even knew that existed, or can be very destructive for the whole society. Who knows? But the prediction of when this happened, there are like this is average like opinion within like AI experts, academics, businesses from business, and from other like areas, non-profits, and so on and so on. And they all agree that these are last data was there. This is projection, and if the like forecast, they were asked for many years, also in past, that when it comes, like AGI, the strong AI, the holy grail of the whole AI research, and they are now agreeing that we are very close in case that forecast error continues, and in case forecast is like well-tuned or okay, the prediction is okay, between these years, so we are very close to this, 2026 and 2030. And between this time frame, within like 4 years, it's highly probable, based on the like opinion of these experts, that we will reach this. And in case that Sam Altman will get the cash for the graphic cards, it will be even sooner. What we need for these models? We need to like understand the inner workings, but we need to also understand now that we are in era of AI agents, we have to understand how they decide what they will do. You will give them tasks, they will do what you ask them for, but we have to understand these models, these like black box models for us now. We have to understand them in order to like implement them in like high risk areas like public sector. Basically, if they can connect via API to your like health like notes, or from your basically doctor health data that are highly personalized data, how we connect them between, how the anonymization works in like health. It's very hard, the anonymization of these data, like MRI or Röntgen screens. So the way forward, also how to implement these technologies in a good way that we will benefit as a society, is also something called explainability. We have to understand, we have to explain how they decide. And it's all under the hood, it's always mathematics. And via mathematics, we can even compare these models, we can understand them, how they decide. Even the transformer itself, it's all about probability. I know it looks sophisticated, that it's generating essays and whole books, whole PDFs and so on, but it's really, the principle is very primitive. It's successful based on a lot of power that is using behind the wheels. But there are other areas of AI research that are basically what we are using now is called machine learning. Machine is learning from the inputs that we will give them. But there is also another area of AI research that is not so well founded, but not so much money goes there, but it's creating something called machine reasoning. The way how we think as humans, it's imitating based on logical operators and creating basically the concept of imitating how a human brain works. And this area is underfunded, and at least from my point of view, or from point of view of another expert, we need explainability and understanding how our own mind works. And in this case, if we understand these two, then we can imitate this kind of processes on computers, and then we can reach the AGI. Now, the vision is that we can reach the AGI, we just put more graphic cards, more data on top of another shitty data, and we can reach that. That is one vision. I am more for the other vision. These are tips for you for books, that if you are interested in this, also in the high-risk applications. Some of you may be working for public sector, or even within business, is also important. So these books are really great. And I had the pleasure also to be one of the reviewer of the first edition even of this book by Serge. He also confirmed participation on this webinar, so hopefully he's online. And where it is going, in case that we will reach the AGI or the strong AI, one way or another, machine learning or machine reasoning, the next step is basically connecting these technologies into us, not via protocol, via different protocol, via hardware protocol. And this is something that can push us forward, but still it doesn't work. If it works one day, we can basically overcome the limitations that we currently have. And this will be, if you are interested into this, like transhumanism or the concept of this, definitely stop by next week. We will have this lovely lady here, Mariam Alimardani. She will be our next speaker, and she's working in currently Amsterdam. Before it was a different university within Holland, within Netherlands, and she's working on this kind of technologies. I had the pleasure of doing an interview with her at the IEEE conference that when I was in National AI Slovakia, National Platform for AI Development in Slovakia. We organized by founding from MIRI, IEEE conference in Košice, and she was one of the top speakers there. And what she's working with are technologies that are combining the best from neuroscience, the best from computer science, and the best from robotics. And at least she will probably go much deeper into this topic. I'm not expert into her area, but at least she told me in the interview that we are very close to this, and first trials are mostly used for disabled people, and it's really helping these people with some disabilities or basically sportsmen after some injuries. It's really helping them to gain the capabilities and enhance them in a way that they can overcome their limitation based on injury or some other thing. So, and she's also working on like technologies that can basically store human consciousness into computer, which gives us potential, and based on large language models we can do this, and in case that is working we can store it in form of large language models. So basically we can like relatively live forever in case that we will have some storage on cloud or some a human body or the robotic body, another that we can put the consciousness in. So really like sci-fi stuff that sounds like science fiction is becoming a scientific reality, and these kind of technologies are coming very soon, at least based on her opinion, and I really like believe her. Okay, so another like technologies that are improving. This was Tomáš Mikolov. How many of you know Tomáš Mikolov? Okay, just few. That's very tragic that only a few of us know this guy. Basically, the whole ChatGPT, large language models, even the idea of using neural networks for text was few years ago, nobody did it. And one of the guys who did it and was experimenting with neural networks was Tomáš Mikolov. He's one of the cleverest person, really like on genius level from my generation, which is 84, 85. And in Brno, he was doing first experiments. He's author of Word2Vec, which is open source library, and he basically created a way how to represent words, how to embed them into like vector representation, which is the core of the ChatGPT. All the learning process, all the transformers, it's all based on his technology, his way how to do things. And without him and without his contribution, we will never reach ChatGPT or other stuff. He was working in Google, in Facebook, in I don't know where. Every company wanted at that time to hire him because he was the first one who showed the way to large language model. And now, yesterday, he announced that he created with the company Bottle Cap, that he created with one Slovak, creator of the, what's the name of the game that you are basically using music and like VR? What's the, I don't know the game, I don't play it, but there is one very successful like game that's combining music and interaction via VR, and it was created by Beck, his name is, his colleague or the Slovak. And Facebook bought this game for VR, and now they created company. It's called Bottle Cap AI, and one of the first improvements, they are still in seeding phase, but they are working on very like advanced technologies, and they improved the training time of large language model, like 50 times faster. So really like big improvement, big move. I already invited him as a speaker to like our place. So far, no reply. He's probably busy right now. Like after yesterday, it got like 500 retweets, like reshares, and yeah, he doesn't joke. When he's saying that he can improve like learning curve of large language model by 50%, no joke. He is really like, we are together in something called Claire. It's within Europe, the like organization that is connecting the top people within AI, like around Europe, and now it's changed the name to Cairne, and they are organizing webinars teaching something like PyData, but within Europe. PyData came from US, but similar networks. And another stuff that I would like to point you this way. It's something called diffbot. Diffbot is the way how these large language model, how many of you know diffbot or diffy? I used it for propagation of the Meetup. Nobody? Try it. Google it, try it, and what it does is basically using the scraping technology together with large language models, mostly Llama from Facebook. Also another Slovak worked on Llama. That's a whole another story. But there is a lot of contribution also Slovak, Andrej Karpaty, and so on and so on. But diffbot is creating the agentic work and combining with a large language model, and also with something called like grounded language model. So like real facts, it's not hallucinating so much as different LLMs. And within like benchmark is also one of the best. At least I use it instead of Google already. diffy.chat, and like use it. I would show you, but here like too many windows is operating, but it's really quick. You can interact with it, and even have the functionality of searching, of extracting knowledge. You can even download the data from there. It's really one of the most advanced tools out there based on LLM. Another is, for example, Wolfram Alpha LLM. If you know, it's like information from physics. It's not just Wikipedia. It's really like the real knowledge. Okay, so these are the information more about PyData back. So about LLM, I already told you the core of it. Currently, more about us, we have partners, we have partnership also with conferences. One of them is happening very soon, called CodeCon here in Bratislava. And one already happened in Prague. There we have even 8-year partnership, and we are developers also 8-year partnership. These are discounts that you can get. And also from point of why these LLMs are so important, and why it matters also from point of Slovakia. Slovakia is according to OECD, but also European Commission and so on and so on. In case that this kind of agentic AI comes, like the independent agents that can do all the work, it will push the economy. It will redefine basically our workspace, our work in general, and it will move the economy to another level. And Slovakia is among the most vulnerable, or the most in highest risk of automation. And that's why we also do this kind of meetups. That's why we do this kind of mini conferences and so on and so on. That's why we educate or try to educate people into this. We have to prepare our basically workforce for these movements, and it's really, the support is very low, as you will see on another slide. This is basically the whole ecosystem. We participated as PyData, as organizer of this meetup. We participated on this study, and it was financed by Google grants. And what is basically Slovakia is giving into supporting of these AI tools, or the whole industry of AI, is really a very small number compared to different countries. We are very bad in attracting the AI talent. Many of talented people from Slovakia are working on many big things all around the world, but we are not so successful in returning them back and moving our country forward. So if you are interested, you can check the study. And this is about us. I can skip that. The slides, you will find the slides also from this meetup. I will send it to you via email that you use for registration, but you can download it later on via this link. And this is contact to me. And that's all, folks. You can also rate the talk, and we will move to question and answer. And one more thing, while you will be doing the voting, we here in Slovakia, we know a lot about ourselves, about history of our country, and about the history from point of view, for example, gods. From point of view of some people, AI is viewed as basically the something close to God. And in pre-Christian era, here in Slovakia, we had many deities, not just one god, but gods like Devana, or the highest entity was Perun. And some of you may know that we are here in Slovakia building our own Perun, and we had the pleasure of inviting today also people that are working brick by brick, building this infrastructure for the next step in AI research in Slovakia. They are building supercomputers. So I will now give a word also to our very special guest from Slovak National Center for Supercomputers, EuroCC Slovakia. And if you have the time. So Lucia Maličková.
Yeah, thank you very much. Only a few words. Thank you very much for invitation. Today, I think it could be perfect that we are start collaborate from PyData. We can start today. It means that now you are everybody invited to our workshop or webinars. On the web page is eurocc.nscc.com. I think we will share it.
We will share it via email.
Yeah, thank you, and everybody is welcome, and thank you very much for the perfect topics, because LLM is a perfect topic in HPC infrastructure, because how you know that is not only GPT, is another thinking, and the HPC Devana is now, and Perun it will be later, can help us. You are welcome to the Perun and Devana, and for sure in NSCC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And this kind of infrastructure that they are building, and state, basically Slovak state is financing these supercomputers. This is the way forward, at least for us. The industry is moving to specialized LLMs that will be based on our own data. On national level, each country is competing against each country in creation of these kind of technologies. And the hardware is very important, but also the software will be very important, and it will be, at least how I understand it, it will be open for startups, for academia, and basically everybody who wants or who needs this kind of like super power or super hardware for creation, their own creation. So really, I like suggest to check also their meetups. Like yesterday, they had one of the top experts for robotics from Slovakia, Andrej Lučný. He also won. I mentioned Mariam Alimardani, that she was in Košice. She was the person who was on top of like scientific council that selected the best paper on the DISA IEEE conference in Košice, and winner was Andrej Lučný at that time, and he's also founder of Robotika SK. It's the portal, also like great. They are doing their own meetups. They're doing great work in this area, and Andrej is one of the top experts, and he won the prize also there. So really check their activities, and we will share it also via email to that email that you use for registration. So definitely for the future we will also coordinate the meetups, so also our community can participate on their meetups, and hopefully also their participants can attend also our meetups. So this is really important for creation of new businesses, for creation of new ideas, and basically to how to stay competitive on like nation against nation level in this area of LLMs also. Okay, so average 7.4. Okay, thanks. So also another thing, there is super computing, Slovak Supercomputing Center is organizing also teachings, also like seminars, educating people how to use these technologies to move the whole society forward. We have similar like things. We created PyData. It's a new thing, a cooperation with this Verlag Dashofer. It's one of the top Germany-based publishing house. And these kind of, if you are interested in like areas that I mentioned, you can participate. First seminar will be on 20th in about a week, and it will be focused on explainable AI, but I will teach also other stuff like prompt engineering, AI tools, how to use it for developers, and so on and so on. Also, there are other perfect courses that are not so expensive. If you are interested in MCP, one of the best sources of information and also hands-on experience you can get from Udemy. And the boot camp was created by Zoltan, one of my friends, and it's really not just because he's my friend, but also the content is really great. And he's also one of the leaders of Vienna Data Science Group that we coordinate activities. Also in the past I was invited in Linz in one of their meetups, and basically we are in connection. Also in past, during COVID, we cooperated in creation of basically the meetups were against the law. So also it had effect on PyData itself. And we created basically alliance without Europe and put it on online. So Zoltan was one of them who participated on this project. There is also another specialized Udemy course that is really perfect and focus on MCP and agent to agent. Here on this link you can find it and subscribe. This is the first one that Zoltan is teaching, and this is Kartik Marvach. Is really one of the top that also I learned a lot from these guys. And here are the questions. So, Rene, René, by the way, René here is one of the our future speakers. In June, he's working with Microsoft in Munich, if I'm right, and he will have talk online in June and in person in October, and it will be on similar topic as I presented here today, and using cloud-based solutions like Azure there. So René asked the question, does combining LLMs with tools and memory create a thinking system or just more capable mimic? What's still missing for real general intelligence? Perfect question. Combining LLMs with tools is just giving tools to LLMs. That's it. It's not about thinking system, it's just giving them capabilities that they were unaware of, they didn't have access to, and it just all the stuff like the concept of transformers, concept of LLMs, it's all just about imitating intelligence or imitating something like each brain of each one of us is more capable than any, even the most advanced tools or LLMs out there. So really, we haven't reached even the human level of intelligence yet, and not even combining these very stupid or very basic tools with another tools will not give some spark of really high intelligence. That's just some buzzwords that media are using, but it's not capable. It's just mimicking intelligence. What is still missing is the reasoning part. I mentioned it in my talk that what we need is understanding how our own brain works, how our decision works, how we operate with logic, how to imitate logic put it into computers, and how to use this for more cognitive decisions in real life. So it's far from that. It's still far from that, and problem is storage, problem is the logical operators, problem is funding, not enough money to research of this area of AI, and we are still sometimes before reaching that. Will MCP make RAG obsolete? Yes, I think so, because it's basically doing the same stuff just in a standardized way. So the era, unfortunately, of RAG is probably over. Another question by Ladislav. When developing autonomous agents, how or is it even possible to prevent them from inventing implicit secondary goals which deviate from their original goal? Like when recently agents that were supposed to improve in chess started attacking Stockfish servers instead. Yes, there is a risk like this, and how to prevent them is not giving them the rights to interact in this way. So it is like developer thing or developer problem now. If we don't give them this capability to interact in the secondary goals, if we strictly program them to behave this way and within these areas and with these exact tools, it should not happen.
But then they are not autonomous agents anymore. So.
Then they are not autonomous agents, yes. By definition, yes. But what they are, how they interacting, they are just solving the same task, and they are coordinating that one will not do the duplicity of the other. That's the whole agent-to-agent protocol. But we have to give them strict rules, because the risk is always there. If you put it open and give them access to everything, always this is good advice for all of you. always like consider when you will interact with this kind of agents, what kind of like access you will give them on your computer locally or within like clouds that you have stored your data. So the risk is there. Completely, you are right, but it's more like developer problem. If the like interaction with the agent is said that you can basically select it more broadly, it can lead to like really big problems. Also, REC had issues with privacy, and I think MCP solves the protocol part, but it doesn't solve the security part yet. Vladislav Romanov, do you think that it is possible to create AGI based on language model? Would it be able to innovate considering that it is trained to provide essentially likely responses based on intelligent context processing? AGI based on language model is not AGI by definition. AGI means that this kind of intelligence is better in every area that humans are so far better. So not just text, but the modality is the way how to reach AGI. Currently we have audio, video, text. Soon we will have like gestures or something like from Minority Report, interaction with by hands with computers and so on and so on. This is the next step. The multimodal is the way forward, and to reach AGI, by definition, AGI is also in representation in physical world. So it will be a robot. It will be physical representation of intelligence in our real world with all the capabilities that will overcome humans in all the areas. So it will be better in everything that we are now. Just by using large language model, it cannot be reached by definition. I think that's it. Or there is more, okay. So this is answered. Thus combining this is answered. Also. Isn't the option that AGI will arrive in a few years just wishful thinking of CEOs that try to raise funds? They make their own AGI definition. I don't think so. I think that in case that, for example, Sam Altman get the funding for the creation of the infrastructure for the next big thing, which will be AGI, I think that they can reach this. But when, like few years back, it was in 2017 or 18, we were in one conference. We were invited by Marek Rosa. He was one of the top like Slovaks within like AI industry, sometimes called also like Slovak Elon Musk. And we were together in Berlin at PyData Berlin, which is one of the biggest conferences. And he was organizing this conference called Human Level AI, HLAI. And we had the pleasure of like being partner of this conference. And the author of the first humanoid in the world that was given citizenship by Saudi Arabia, called Sophia, was there also. And this is basically 3 academic conferences on one place in one time, and each year on different continent. So it was a really unique chance. It was organized in Prague way back in 2017, and this kind of like topics was also discussed there. And the problem that is in funding if this is solved, like people like Sam Altman can reach that, but to do it in a like open way that will benefit not just his company. Like if Sam Altman reached that, like OpenAI reached that, it will be for benefit of the company. The like stock will, the price of the stock will rise, and it will benefit this company. But in case that we will do it in different way, that Ben Gretzel at that conference was presenting, using blockchain technologies as a storage for like learning stuff and storing stuff, in that case we can reach it maybe later, but in a better way that we will benefit all from that. So the answer is yes, if you put money on the table and really big sum, that you can reach that. But it will not have the same capabilities as the different. What's one misconception people have about agents and LLMs that you would love to bust today? Some say, we were participating on one study that was within like Central Eastern Europe, coordinated from Warsaw. And one of the, it was focused on the universities within countries like Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Lithuania, and so on and so on. And focused on university students, and they have misconceptions, the new generation or Generation Z. They think that we already reached the AGI, the strong intelligence. They believe that the agent or the LLM that they are interacting with, it really understands them, that it will fully recognize them. They understand their habits. They understand. There is a big misconception in the next generation as for what we are now having, what kind of technologies we are having. So what I would like to bust is this idea that we already reached AGI. We are maybe few years from that moment, but we are still not there. So this is the myth that I would like to bust. What can we use to automatically test regs for accurate results? I can't answer this, so really don't use reg. I think that it's a waste of time. Do you think storing consciousness in computer will ever be feasible? I'm no expert into this, but at least people who I value their opinion, like Mariam, but also others, they are telling me that it is in limited way already possible. And it's not just sci-fi anymore, but there are a lot of issues, privacy issues. The people that will be stored on the computer have to agree with it, and so on and so on. So the software is not just imitating human behavior. Yes, it's imitating human behavior, but in a way that is for others really close to truth. So it can help, for example, if somebody from your family will decease, to store them before they die on some computer. It can at least have therapeutic value for you to interact with this kind of large language model that learned from the person that died. At least this kind of value I see then. Isn't the opinion that AGI will arrive in a few years just wishful thinking of CEOs that try to raise funds to make their own? I already answered that. Sorry. How do you think we should balance the need of model transparency and explainability with the pursuit of ever more powerful and complex AI models? That is always the decision, whether we have more explainability, and also we are always making compromises. We can explain in deep, even go to the level of neuron, and even like eliminate some neurons that learn like in better way. So we can go there, explain how they decide, and even like quit them. But the transparency and the compromise between transparency and explainability is the decision that is not for the creator or AI expert or AI engineer or data scientist to make. That's the compromise have to be made on level of a decision maker and the people who will finance this kind of like projects. Okay, it's time, so I will stop here. And the best questions that were there. So René, Lukáš won the quiz, and Ladislav, right? So t-shirts are here for you. Here.
If anybody wants my t-shirt, please.
So we have one extra. So yeah, and I have to stop here also because of time. That's one of the things that I always do. Sorry for that. And thank you for coming. And here is the contact to me. So I will send you the slides and all the information also about events from Slovak National Supercomputing Center in the email. And stop by also next week. We will have Mariam as our guest. She will connect online, so we will use these capabilities that Swissre here have. And she will connect from Holland, and she will talk about her research, and she's basically finding new PhD students also interested in this kind of topics, transhumanism. So thank you all for coming, and have a nice day, rest of the day. And if you are interested in stickers and so on and so on, also one of the partners is Nextech, so feel free to take the their magazine. So thanks for coming again, and see you next time.